Lightweight action about to get underway here at FightStar Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is brought to you by Coffee Express. 3 3-minute rounds in the lightweight division between, and introducing firstly, fighting under the red corner, coming to you by way of Asylum, Valentuno. By way of Ferrara MMA, also making his ring debut, Jason Wielgus.
Danny Mitchell of ABT, a hugely experienced and respected coach. He is in the corner of Morgan Starkey, so it'll be very interesting to see him. But it's Wielgus now pushing the pace and pushing Starkey to the back of the cage. Little knees on the inside from Wielgus. Starkey looking to pummel in that hand. Needs to pummel in, does so, and shrugs his man off. Looks for the stand-up exchanges. Pumps the jab at there, Starkey. Reaches a bit with the right hand. Wielgus looks for the takedown, unable to secure it, but we're back to the same position with Wielgus pushing his man Starkey up against the cage here. Starkey needs to pummel in for that underhook again, but as it is, Wielgus nearly secures the takedown. I mentioned earlier these 3-minute rounds in the unified amateur rules. It's very, very difficult to catch the eye of the judges in the grappling exchanges. You don't want to be on bottom position or pressed up against the cage for too long. Wielgus doing a good job of just dictating where the fight's taking place. Although he's not really scoring any damage in the eyes of the judges, he is pushing the action. It's Starkey with his back to the cage. Starkey now pummels that hand in. Nice little knee on the inside from Wielgus. Big right hand. And we're back to Wielgus pushing his man up against the cage. And although it looks like there's little action happening in this, obviously, good takedown there from Wielgus. Obviously, I was just about to say that it's still sapping the guy's strength. It looks like they're not doing much, but it does take a huge amount of stamina, especially for the guy that's being pushed against the fence. Wielgus now ends up on bottom position. Let's see what his guard's like. Looks for the sweep. Looks to control that wrist there on the inside. Starkey starts to land some ground and pound. Very active guard thus far from Jason Wielgus. Pharrell MMA fighter now perhaps looking for a straight Achilles lock. Uses it to dump his man on the floor and again rushes Starkey to the cage. He's done a good job of pushing the ABT man against the cage. And now he's starting to score the shots. They're not huge shots, but they're catching the eye of the judges. Those shots on the inside from Jason Wielgus. The 10-second clacker goes, and Wielgus secures a takedown. Now, momentarily in mount position, he's not going to have enough time to work. But a good effort from Wielgus, in my mind, puts a little full stop on that round. So we look at Starkey now. BJJ brown belt Danny Mitchell. I'm sure he's telling him to avoid the clinch. He's now taking a look at Wielgus and his corner. I'm sure they'll be happy with what they've seen so far. He's worked well. Although he hasn't scored too much damage, he's certainly a round up. Starkey on the other hand here, he's going to have to avoid the crushing sort of wall pressing game from Wielgus. Just in that Greco clinch, Wielgus has managed to push Starkey up against the cage and just dictate where this fight is taking place thus far at FightStar Championships. It's got to be said, Wielgus, just look at decent size for a lightweight. Starkey just seems to be struggling at the moment. Let's see how Starkey comes out in this second round. He was snatching and sort of overreaching on the punches a bit. Let's see if that's calmed us down. Of course, these guys making their debut, there's a huge amount of things to deal with, the adrenaline running through the body. Let's see if Starkey, again, sort of overreaches that right hand. Wielgus used it to take his man down. Good rush from Wielgus. Credit to Starkey for popping back to his feet, but from a scoring point of view, doesn't look good for the judges. This might, though. If he can secure the single, might give up his back here. Maybe the armbar attempt here. Difficult to tell from my vantage point. It's for MMA's Wielgus. Yeah, certainly going for the armbar, but I don't think Starkey's in too much danger as it stands. It's a bit high on it. Yeah, and he shrugs it off, then lands a nice little ground and pound shot. Lands a couple and now falls into the full guard, and Starkey looks to get busy. Got to be careful, he's got to keep his man's hip square. Great work from Wielgus to get back to his feet. Nearly hit the sweep. Instead used it to create that distance and pop back up to his feet. Excellent performance thus far from Jason Wielgus. Starkey, beautiful knee on the inside. And this round, definitely in the balance. Gave the first to Wielgus, so if Starkey can secure this one. See the hands of Starkey again. Needs to get that jab going, not overreaching it. Wielgus tries to wrap him up. Starkey perhaps looking for the guillotine. Like that from Starkey. Although he goes back to the cage, he landed a few shots. Looks good in the eye of the judges. Wielgus now with a big takedown. Starkey manages to avoid any real damage there. Sort of broke his own fall, but now it's Jason Wielgus, Thorough MMA fighter, and side control. A little bit of time to work in this round. Corner of Morgan Starkey, calling for action. Want the man to turn in here. Use the cage to kick off and just try to get out of this dominant position. Jason Wielgus content to stay in top position now and continue scoring. Trying to isolate an arm. Starkey rolls away from his man. Not traditionally what you see from fighters in a side control position. There are escapes that way, but now he finds himself in mount. Jason Wielgus, mount position here. Has he got time to work? Starkey rolls over, gives up his back. Only one hook in for Wielgus. He looks for the choke anyway. Starkey trying to control the single arm, just trying to peel his man's arms off here. Difficult position, and he survives it out. Great heart shown by Morgan Starkey. But has that put him 2 rounds down going into this third period? Obviously hard to score from this commentary position. For my money, Jason Wielgus could be looking at 2 rounds up. It's definitely a closer affair in the second. But for Sharkey, it's the same sort of story. He's going to have to look to avoid the clinch as we see Wielgus. Now taking a look at the corner of Morgan Starkey, Danny Mitchell, they're desperate to give his man instructions. Looks like he's motioning perhaps to look for a takedown of his own. Certainly seeing Danny Mitchell shadowboxing there. He wants to see the hands of Starkey. He's poured out a jab on occasion, Starkey, but when he's looked for the right hand, he's sort of overreached it. He's come from too deep a distance. And Jason Wielgus has used that to rush his man and engage the clinch as the fight has touched gloves for this third and final period. Starkey with a big kick. That landed nicely for the ABT man. But again, sort of overreaching on that right hand, and Wielgus is able to clinch. Starkey looks for the knee again. Wielgus has the single leg, looks to run that pipe. Sharkey perhaps looking for a standing Kimura on that side. He's got the grip. Wielgus now trying to ankle pick his man to the ground. Sharkey Gives up the Kimura, but has the underhook now. Should be able to work his man away. Desperate wrestling match between these two. As I said, for those not a favour of grappling, it might not look like too much is going on, but believe me, it's a shattering experience for both men, especially Starkey. Now Starkey looks for the guillotine. And Wielgus manages to pop his head out. That looked close for a minute. Could that be the last gasp attempt of victory for Morgan Starkey? What will that have done to his psyche? And now Wielgus passes into side control. Looking to mount, knee on belly, shrugged off. Starkey does well to get back to his feet. He's going to need a stoppage in my mind. Wielgus again does very well to close the distance on his man. Excellent throw from Starkey. Now let's see what he can do in the top position. As I mentioned, could possibly look at two and say, oh, beautiful sweep from Jason Wielgus and straight into mount. It's been a great performance from the Forever May man against the tough Morgan Starkey. But Jason Wielgus has managed to take the fight into his zone, and that's the grappling area, and he's done very well. Let's see what he's got in this mount position. Both guys clearly tired, and Wielgus bucks up now, starts to land some shots. Starkey forced to give up the back. Only a single hook in, I believe, for Wielgus. Could get bucked off here. It's hard to see if he's... Oh, he's actually... No, he's got the triangle control of his legs there. Tucked his man in tight. Great work from Wielgus. Body triangle. Very dominant position, but Starkey could end up on top here. 10 seconds go. Starkey finishing with a flurry here. The AVT man giving it everything he's got. A fantastically matched fight. Who knows which way that's gone on the scorecard. For me, Wielgus certainly took the second. The first round was pretty close, as I recall. As I mentioned, it's very hard to score when you're doing commentary. I think we could be looking at a Wielgus decision, but you know, at this amateur level, it's not all about the results. I think both guys will be really proud of their performances. The corners will be. Both guys coming out here and putting on a show. Very well matched fight. And both guys will be relieved to get that debut out of the way. We head over to the MC for the official verdict.
Winner by unanimous decision, Jason Wielgus.